Hi. So, Elon Musk spoke again, and he said something true, partially true. It's important to talk about. He stated a problem. The problem is this: our birth rates, the global birth rates are dropping. We're having less kids throughout the planet. That's a problem because one day, very soon, in a few decades, the working age population is going to have shrunk so much compared to the aging population that the working age won't be able to support civilization. So in some cases, civilization is going to collapse because of this. And those are Elon Musk's words. He said, "Mark my words." And I mark his words. They're very important. The problem is he's stating a partial truth. And the partial truth statements lead to wrong conclusions and bad policy making. I don't know if he knows this. I don't know what he's implying with the sorts of policies that need to be put in place in order to avoid this catastrophe. But let me explain why his statement is partially true and problematic. So while it is true that our birth rates are dropping, our ability to conceive children is dropping. Our sperm counts are dropping. Our ability to procreate is diminishing. Now, if you could show me one animal species, any animal species, bacteria, anything, if you could show me one species where when they reach a certain population density, that doesn't happen, they don't have a problem procreating, my mind would fucking explode. Because that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter if you're talking about humans or animals. Once the population density gets too large, the ability of that species to procreate will become increasingly difficult for one reason or another. So yeah, we are going to run into problems in the future because the working age population is diminishing, the birth rates are diminishing. But the reason this all happened is because back in the 18th century, when the Industrial Revolution hit, it was a fucking free-for-all, and that's a pun. Our population exploded, and it has been exploding for 200 years, and now it's starting to level off. So, it would be really easy to hear Elon Musk's, and this is why I get angry about this. It's really easy to hear Elon Musk say that, and it's super easy for the policymakers to say, okay, let's incentivize parents to have more children. Let's pay them to have children. That would be the wrong policy. Because the reason this is happening is because our population density has exploded. So when you make a partial truth, if you're listening, if you make a partial truth statement like that, you have to fill in the gaps. Because people are listening to what you're saying. And policies are going to be made based off of what you're saying and what other academics are saying, because they're saying the same thing. But think a little harder. To go back a second, you might say that, well, our ability to conceive children and our sperm counts are dropping because, well, it's pesticides and there's pollution in the air and people are smoking and doing drugs. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, one way or another, once the population density gets too large, the ability of the species to procreate will go into the toilet. It's natural law. There's feedback loops that make sure species don't take over the planet and destroy it entirely. So think about that, policymakers. It's a headache. We have run ourselves so deep into the ditch that it's almost impossible to fix this problem. But there are ways to fix it. There are correct policies that can be put in place. I'm going to try and talk about those policies in different videos and suggestions, ideas that other people have come up with. So, Elon, if you're listening, thank you. And if you're a person, just thanks for listening and thanks for thinking about this.